And we welcome you into Dodger Poke Report for the next edition of Dodgers Down on the Farm for AAA Oklahoma City. This week, Oklahoma City won a series of 4-2 over the AAA affiliates of the Texas Rangers. The Round Rock Express, Jake Lamb, continues to have a huge year. He leads the Oklahoma City Dodgers in average. He leads them in on-base percentage. Jason Martin is having a wonderful year as well. He leads the team in stolen bases. He leads the team in OPS, believe it or not, and in slugging percentage. So Jason Martin is having a huge year in AAA. Oklahoma City, Ryan Noda had a huge weekend. He went 5 for 10 this past weekend. Miguel Vargas continues to do what Miguel Vargas does. Michael Busch hit his 18th home run. This week he had 3 home runs in this series. He now leads anybody in any team in the Dodgers organization, whether it be Los Angeles or any of the affiliates. He leads everybody in home runs now with 18. Marshall Kozlowski's having a huge year. Dellin Betances got 2 performances, the former 4-time All-Star. So it's been a big week for the Oklahoma. Michael Grove got another start with Oklahoma City last Wednesday that I got to see through 5 scoreless innings. We'll talk about that. So it was a big week for Oklahoma City. It ended in exciting style. On Sunday, a ground ball to Jacob Amaya, who went to his left, touched the second base bag. That runner was called safe. The runner from third tried to come home to score to tie the game. Amaya threw him out, and that's how the Dodgers ended the week. So they're in first place, 5 games ahead of second place El Paso, who, guess what? They play this week in El Paso, in the West Texas town. So it's going to be a fun series with the Chihuahuas, who are the AAA affiliates of the Padres is coming up week. Before we talk about that, let's get to the game action and the video from the action from last week. Unfortunately, Justin Bruihl is back down in AAA with Oklahoma City, but he's making the most of the situation he's been given. He tossed his 4th straight scoreless performance on Sunday. He went 2 innings. He struck out 2. He walked down. The slider for the Petaluma, California native was very good again. He spotted his fastball up very well, as you can see. Look at him spot the ball well, that left-handed hitter there. That's actually Zach Rex. If you remember Zach, who was very good with Oklahoma City last year, got some time with L.A., so that's a major league hitter that you see Justin Bruihl get soft contact from. So Justin Bruihl doing a great job with AAA Oklahoma City. I would imagine he's going to get a call up again here in the near future. Can't say enough about Ryan Noda. He is one of my favorites. I say it every single week, and what a weekend he had. He had 2 home runs on Friday. He had 3 hits on Sunday's game, so he had 5 hits total. He went 5 for 10, so what a weekend for him with 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, 11 total bases. So good job, Ryan Noda. And the thing about him, I've talked to some of not only his high school coaches, but coaches who had to coach against him both in baseball and basketball in high school, and they will tell you he could get the ball off the rim, he could go coast to coast, and he could score. He was that athletic, he was that aggressive, he was that confident, and they verbatim have said he was the toughest cover that we have ever had to game plan for or try to execute. On the hardwood and on the diamond, he is equally as good. He is so talented. Last year he led all of AA Central in home runs and in walks. This year he's second on the team in stolen bases. I said that correctly. He is second on the team in stolen bases. I believe he has more stolen bases at this point with 11 than he does home runs. He has 10 home runs and I believe 11 stolen bases. So that ought to tell you just how athletic Ryan Noda is, and look how big he is with the size. He has great energy that he plays with. He loves playing the game of baseball. And as good as he's been this year, he has 2 home runs. He's hitting now on the 250, something like that. And he's at the top of many categories with Oklahoma City. But I'll bet if you asked him, he'd tell you, he hadn't quite hit his stride in 2022 yet. So when he does, just watch out, because he can absolutely fill up the stat sheet. When I say the name Yadier Alvarez, if it sounds familiar, it's because it should. He has been in the organization since 2015, and he made it all the way up to AA Tulsa by 2017. So he was on the fast track. He was doing very well, but then, like so many guys, the injury bug hit. He was on the restricted list a couple of times. Then the minor league season got canceled in 2020. Then last year in 2021, he was injured for the entire season. So he got off to a really quick start in the Dodgers organization, getting all the way up to Double-A in his, by 2017 in his third year in the organization, but he stalled out. But now here he is. He's back in Triple-A Oklahoma City. This is action from Sunday. As you can see, he has very, very, very good stuff. He threw 2.1 scoreless innings, looked very good. So although he's been with the club since 2015, which is a long time, so you might think, well, his time has passed because he's been with the club for so long. He's only 26 years old, so he has plenty of time to carve out a good career with the Dodgers. Last week on Dodgers Down on the Farm, I showed you a couple of tape measure home runs from Jake Lamb. This week, I wanted to show you a great play that he made going behind the bag playing third base. The game before this that he played third base, he came in on a ball that was kind of a swing and bunt, made a do or die play coming in, made it look easy. Now, so he's shown that. Now he's shown that he can go behind the bag, make this kind of play. We know how great of an offensive player he is, how great of a year he's having, as I mentioned earlier. He leads the team in average. He leads the team in on-base percentage. He's second on the team in almost every other category. So Jake Lamb, we know he's having a great year offensively. I wanted to show you the versatility. We know he's played first base mostly this year. I wanted to show you how well he can play third base, just so you can see his versatility. And I would have to think, as well as he's playing, that he has to play, as far as the front office goes, that he is in their equation somehow for the remainder of 2022 to help the Dodgers win another World Series. Congratulations to Jose Adames, who got called back up just recently to AAA Oklahoma City. He is a former first-round draft pick, and I have seen him with my own eyes, and I can tell you his stuff warrants that. He has big stuff. He has the big fastball. He has the really good slider, a lot of breaking stuff that's very good. His problem is keeping the ball in the strike zone. He got sent back down to Double-A Tulsa because he was not throwing enough strikes. So his goal is just keep the ball in the strike zone. If he can learn how to throw strikes consistently, he is a top-level major league type talent. This young man, Jose Adames, when you see him in person, his stuff pops. He gave up no runs on one hit Sunday. He struck out 3. He walked 2 in his 1.2 innings. So, Jose Adames, congratulations on making it back to AAA Oklahoma City. You are looking at video that I took of 4-time All-Star Dellin Betances when I was working the game in Oklahoma City Wednesday, and I took this video up close and personal, so I hope you enjoy it. Betances threw a scoreless inning. The 4-time All-Star, as I mentioned ago. He also had a very good outing Saturday night for Oklahoma City, where his breaking stuff was very sharp, and he has really good reach with his fastball, meaning that he's very close to home plate when he releases the ball. So whatever the velocity was, I believe is around 92 the night that I saw him. You can add a couple of ticks to that because he has such great reach with his fastball. So Dellin Betances, is very exciting to have a former 4-time All-Star in the organization at the AAA level. So there he is, up close and personal. This is video of Marshall Kozlowski. Kozlowski's having just a tremendous year at AAA Oklahoma City. In fact, he's having an incredible year. He has not allowed an earned run in 9 of his last 10 outings. He has not allowed an earned run in 13 of his last 15. His ERA is all the way down to 2.35. His whip is down to 1.29, so the big right-hander having a great year in Oklahoma City, kind of quietly, when you hear about all the deals and all, all of the things that might happen for the big Dodgers, the LA Dodgers, as far as transactions to help win a World Series. Kozlowski, just kind of point blank, is not really a name that you ever hear about, but he's having probably the most consistent and best year out of the bullpen for Oklahoma City. And there's up close and personal view of him, video I took from the game that I worked on Wednesday. So there he is, Marshall Kozlowski, having a great year, 2.35 ERA, whip of 1.29. Got a new camera, and this is the first picture I took, and I was pretty proud of it. This is Michael Grove. I finally got to see him in person for the first time in 2022, and his stuff was absolutely on point. His first pitch was 95. He threw 5 scoreless innings. He always has the big breaking ball. Now he has the breaking ball that doesn't break quite as much. It's a little harder thrown, so he can tunnel it off his fastball a little bit better, and it was working well Wednesday night. And, he got into a bases loaded jam, had a 3-2 count. The hitter fouled off a couple of pitches, and he just stuck with it, stayed gritty, got out of that jam, and threw 5 scoreless innings. So I enjoyed very, very much getting to see Michael Grove in person on Wednesday. I am so high on him. If you follow anything I've done, you can go all the way back to 2015 when I saw him with my own eyes in Stillwater, Oklahoma, when he was pitching for West Virginia. When I saw him at Alley P. Reynolds that day, I can tell you, if you follow anything I've done, I have been big on this young man ever since. I have laid eyes on his stuff, and it is finally starting to all come together for this young man. So I just really hope that he realizes just how good he actually is, because his stuff is really, really good. All right, more pictures from the new camera. This is actually a picture of Miguel Vargas getting ready for his first pitch ever in left field. If you're wondering why there was not dirt underneath his feet, because he normally plays the infield, that's why. The Dodgers played him in left field for 2 games this week. In the game that I saw, this is from last Wednesday, he made 2 really, really nice plays. He made one going back to his right, kind of in the corner against the wall, and made a nice catch. He went back to his left once and made a nice catch as well. So there it is. There is Miguel Vargas getting ready for his first pitch ever in left field. So, and that's with my new camera, so I was proud of that one. So I wanted to show it to you. So there it is. I'm glad that you tuned in to the next edition of Dodgers Down on the Farm for AAA Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City is in El Paso this week for a 6-game series against the San Diego Padres AAA affiliate, the El Paso Chihuahuas, who is in second place of the PCL East. So this is a big series for Oklahoma City. I'm excited to watch it, and I'm glad that you've tuned in to the next edition of Dodgers Down on the Farm for AAA Oklahoma City. And I hope that you log on to DodgerPokeReport.com or visit Dodger Poke on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. This is also going to be a podcast, so go to your podcast streaming service of your choice and search Dodger Poke Report or search Dodgers Down the Farm. Either one of them will get you where you want to be. We will have a podcast for all 4 affiliates: AAA Oklahoma City, AA Tulsa, High A Great Lakes, and Low A Rancho Cucamonga. As always, I'm glad that you've tuned in to the next edition of Dodgers Down the Farm, and go Dodgers.